My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Joker Folie Deux. Not Joker 2, but Joker Folie Deux. What a stupid title. Look, I do not like the first Joker movie. I think it is bad. I think it is overrated. And I do not think it's as interesting as the movie thinks it is. But my goodness, it looks like the Dark fucking Knight compared to this piece of shit. Look, I'm just going to cut to the chase. This is the worst DC movie I've seen, and this is one of the worst comic book movies ever made. I went to an early screening, and at the start, you could feel the excitement in the air. The theater was packed, people were buzzing, and by the end, you could just feel all of that vanished. It was like being at a funeral. The movie was so bad, it just sucked the joy out of the air. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And Joaquin Phoenix does a great job in the first movie. So I thought he was going to do a great job here. And he's fine, but it does feel like more of the same. But the bigger issue is that this movie is a musical and he has to sing a lot and he's terrible at it. So I did not like his performance here. And Lady Gaga, look, I thought she did great in A Star is Born, but she's just given nothing to work with here. This is a very flat and uninteresting performance. And then we get to Brendan Gleeson, who I love. He's amazing in movies like In Bruges, The Banshees of Inisherin, Paddington 2. This guy is just always fantastic. And this movie is actually no exception. I thought he was the best part about it. He just plays this prison guard, and it could have been a very forgettable character, but he brings him to life to the best of his abilities. So, he's my favorite part about this movie. Katherine Kee, I thought did a perfectly fine job. I wish she was in the movie more. I don't like the handling of her character. And Lee Gill comes back as Gary for just one scene, but I gotta be honest, he's great in this one scene. He really impressed me here with just how much pain this character was experiencing and the heartbreak he was feeling. Really great job. Zazie Beetz, I thought, did a perfectly fine job. And Harry Lorty plays Harvey Dent, and I thought he was fine. Nothing special there. So, Lee Gill and Brendan Gleeson are the best part about this movie, and the cinematography is very nice. I'll give the movie that. But time to talk about the negatives, beginning with the biggest one, and it's the fact that this movie is like 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and it's boring. This movie was on the verge of putting me to sleep. It is just a very lifeless, unenjoyable movie. And Harley Quinn is in this movie, or should I say Lee? Not Harley Quinn, because this movie is above that. But Lee could have been a fascinating character, but she isn't. She just added nothing to this movie for me. And look, Harley Quinn is such a great, fascinating character. So I don't know why the movies are actively trying to make her as uninteresting as possible. The character work of Arthur Flick is just more of the same. There's nothing new being explored here, and this movie just has nothing to say. It is flat. It is uninteresting. You don't walk away from this movie thinking about any of it. And when we get to the ending, you're just like, really? That's it? Okay. It's like it's actively trying to be as unsatisfying and as uninteresting as possible. And the romance between Arthur Flick and Lee is a big part of this movie, but you never buy into it for a single second. Not once was I emotionally invested in anything these two characters were experiencing. So it just fell completely flat for me. And the courtroom drama aspect I thought was terrible as well. Starts off with potential, but it goes off the rails real fast, real soon, and it just ended up being very bland and generic. And yes, this movie is a musical, and holy shit, it's a terrible musical. And look, I love musicals. La La Land is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Moulin Rouge. But the musical aspect of this movie just doesn't work. And anytime they start singing, it just kills the pacing. And none of the songs sounded good. Like, if I'm going to watch a musical, I better want to download the soundtrack afterwards. And you got Lady Gaga here and just... like, you had so much promise and you wasted it. And look, I'm actually okay with the fact that they tried to make this movie a musical. That's something new. That's something interesting. But the execution, yeah, no thanks. Oh, I totally forgot. The movie actually begins with like a Looney Tunes cartoon, and I actually dug that. I'll give the movie credit where I believe it is due. But look, I'm just tired of Joker and the Batman. You know, like these universes should be fun. You know, they should be comic booky. But it's like they're actively trying to suck the life and personality out of it, and it is just the most baffling take possible. It really is. Like the TV show The Penguin is on right now, and I have zero interest in it because it just seems like Sopranos in the Batman universe. So, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of these takes on these characters, and it seems like there's an arrogance behind them. That they think, oh, we're not a comic book movie, we're above that, so we'll take these characters and make it as uncomic booky as possible, and I just hate that. If you want to tell this story, you could have easily done it without having Joker or Harley Quinn or Harvey Dent. So like it's really frustrating as someone who loves these characters, and I just don't think they're being done justice. So anyways, long story short, this movie is fucking shit. Like I said, there's a couple good performances, it's well shot, and I do like the opening, but everything else in this movie was just abysmal. This movie bored me to no end. I don't think it has anything interesting to say. I think it is flat. I think it is uninteresting. I think it is a pretentious failure. And I just think it failed at everything it tried to do. And I do not think I'm going to be alone on this one. I think this movie is going to be hated by most people. So I'm giving Joker Folie à Deux a 0.5 out of 10. Between this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, and Madame Web, 3 of the worst comic book movies of all time have come out this year. But thankfully, Venom The Last Dance will be the one to save 2024. But anyways, Joker, Folie à Deux. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.